Welcome to class, soulmate. Today we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful triangular bubu top. Very easy to make for beginners and everyone. So this is what I have. 1 yard of chiffon fabric. You can use crepe material, you can use vintage, you can use chiffon, anything fluffy. You can use lycra too. So I have chiffon fabric which I have in the house already. This is just 1 yard. It did not exceed 1 yard. So I'm going to fold it into two like this using the widest parts. Okay, I'll fold it into two equal parts. Make sure they are equal, right? Because this is chiffon, I just have to be very careful while folding it. Then from one end, I'm going to make a triangular shape like this, like you want to cut a peplum or a flay. Okay, a 360-degree flay. So we'll just fold it like this. Right now we'll be making use of two edges, one for the lower part and one part for the upper part, which will be the neckline and towards the hip line. All right, don't mind the shaking of the camera. I just have to make sure that it is well seen. Okay, so I'll keep it this way. Like I said, we need just two important parts. In fact, all of them are okay. So this part is going to be the hip. The upper part is going to be the neckline. All right. So let's take our calculations, and not much calculation. So this part is going to be the shoulder line, while here is the CF and CB, and this is across where the neckline is going to be. Now on this neckline, I measured where 8 inches is, right? This 8 inches is not too wide. It's not going to fall off, but I just need it to be a bit wide, right? So mark there. Now there's another thing. I went down by 2.5 inches to curve the neckline. Now this 2.5 inches is not that necessary if you don't want a deep neckline, right? If you do not want the neckline to be deep, then there will be no need going down by 2.5 inches and curving it to meet the initial 8 width of the 8 inches that I marked, just the one marking it here. Now if you want to make this stylish way of wearing it one shoulder, you can do make the 2.5 or 3 inches to deepen the neckline, so you can just fold it to one other side, right? But if you want it to just be straight, you can still go down by 2.5 inches and keep it straight. In that case, the shoulders are just going to be very wide, and you can wear it both ways, either straight or keep it one side falling towards one shoulder. I hope this explanation is making sense to someone, so you don't make the mistake that you do not want to make. The way I curved it here is not that necessary if you don't want the neckline to be deep. Okay, so from where I curved the neckline, this is it. I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to cut it out and then take measurement for where my sleeve is going to start from. Now from the bottom, I'll mark the roundness of my sleeve. Okay, I used 6.5 inches because my hand is not that big. My round arm is not that big. If you have round arm, you can, that is big, you can use 7 inches or just take your measurements. So I took 6.5 inches. Okay, from the lower part to the 6.5 inches up, not from shoulder down but from the bottom up. All right, so I'll cut it out. That place is the side, the shoulder area, so it's going to be open while we sew it back. Okay, now like I said, where it stops, keep a notch there so that when you sew from the shoulder line, you will know where to stop. I hope this is making sense. So after marking, I still notched it just to make sure that I do not make any mistake. Okay, please take note of the neckline that I just explained. Just the way it is, you can just cut and keep it straight, right? It will give it a more beautiful look. So let me say I've made this mistake for anyone who is watching this video. If you don't want the neckline to be deep, just cut it straight. Don't make this curved neckline stuff. Alright, so this part is the hip area. So my hip is 40. I will measure where I have 40 divided by 4, which is 10, and then I'll put extra 2 inches because I don't need the hip to be tight. But if you want it, you can just add your seam allowance. Extra 2 inches, my seam allowance is there. So I will sew and stop at where I marked for the hip. I hope that is making sense, and then I will notch it. Okay, I hope you are following. Notch that part. That is where the sewing is going to stop. The other part is just going to be open. Okay, so I'll pipe the neckline. I'll pipe the neckline using the same fabric. You can use bias, but I use the same fabric to pipe the neckline, the front and back. Joined it together this way. Stop to where my sleeve is. That the sleeve part is open. Then from below, I sewed down to where the hip stops. I hope this is making sense to you. I hope this is making sense to you. Very beautiful, simple, classy, elegant stuff, whatever you call it. Okay, so we'll go over to the sewing machine now and then begin with the piping of the neckline, the front and the back piping, after which I'm going to join them together and we'll proceed. Okay, so this is the strap I've made for the piping. Fabric put together with hemming gum, or just a long fabric, not triangular also. Then I will use it to pipe the neckline, the right side of the strap to the right side of the main fabric, because I'll be folding it inside. Okay, so I'll just sew it straight. I'll just sew it straight, after which I'm going to turn it. So whatever I do on one part, I'm still going to repeat the same thing on the other parts. Okay, so assume we have finished sewing the neck, how do I put it, joining the bias or whatever for the piping. Then I'll fold it over. Like I said, this is beginner friendly. In case you're a beginner, that's why I'm doing all of this. If you're an advanced, you already know how to pipe your neckline, so that's not a problem for my beginners. I'm always talking about the beginners. I like the beginners so much because that is the foundation of everything that I want to achieve in this sewing business. Okay, so I'll just fold it over and top stitch on it. I'll fold it over just like this and top stitch on it, and that is it. So once that is done, I'm going to put the shoulders together. You can see the way it is. I'll put it together and sew it down to where I notched for the sleeve to start, the arm sleeve base, right? Okay, so I'll just put it together and sew. Please, at this point, if you've watched to this point and you've not subscribed to this channel, I don't know what to say to you. Please kindly subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with your friends and neighbors and your schoolmates and your church mates and every mate that you have. Okay, please click on the bell button, or I don't even know what else I want to say. Please subscribe and watch the video to the end. Okay, so whatever I do on this part, I'm going to repeat it on the other side. And then for the hem, where now wherever you're stopping the sewing, make sure you backstitch. Okay, make sure you backstitch and notch that part into the sewing, but do not cut the thread. It will make it relax more. Okay, so this part is now open. Now from the hem, I'll put them together, leave this part open, or before then I'm going to pipe it. Okay, the roundness of the sleeve. I'm going to pipe it. Like I said, notch half inch into where the stitching stops, so that it helps the piping of the sleeve, which is not going to be, which is using the same fabric to fold over, to relax properly. Okay, so I'll just fold it and sew. I hope you're even understanding what I'm saying. I hope you understand. And of course, the video is clear, and I hope you get the value for the time you're using to watch this. Above all, please try and practice yours. That is when you fully understand all the grammar that I'm speaking here. Okay, so like I said, what I did on this part, I'm also going to do it on the other part. Just fold it over. Don't be in a hurry to fast forward the video. Just take your time, relax. It's just 30 minutes and it will be over while you understand what we are doing. Okay, so once we are done, right, it's remaining to sew the lower parts, that is using half an inch from where the sleeve stops. Just use half an inch and join the lower parts to where you have. Okay, this is where my hand is coming out from. So from here I'll sew half an inch down to where I notched for the hip line. Okay, reason for notching is so that you do not forget or pass where you're supposed to stop. So I put them together half an inch and I'll join it down to where I notched for the hip, and will be done for this class. So once we're done with that, that is the whatever I do on one part, I'm just going to repeat it on the other part, and we'll be done with the top. Okay, now the lower part, you can decide to just weave it or still pipe it, however I want to finish it up. Just take it to your weaving machine and weave everything together. And this is what we have. Like I said before, do not, if you do not want the neckline to be deep, then there's no need marking depth of neckline again. Just cut everything straight. Okay, depending on the width of the shoulder you're using, 8 inches should be the minimum. Like, okay, you can increase it, but 8 inches is not going to fall out from your shoulders, depending on the width of your shoulder anyway. So this is just me feeling myself. I love the look, I love it, I love it. And you can style it in a different way. You can see the way it is, right? So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you. See you in another video. Bye.